Hi friends, a young IITian asked me a question after listening to my recent talks. He said, in today's world, everything is reduced to price. People work to consume, workers are commodities, companies are vehicles of ambition, and both the worker and the owner become slaves to consumerism. And then he asked, in such a world, what is excellence? Is excellence just earning more, owning more, scaling faster? Or is there something deeply incomplete in this picture? Let us explore this carefully, honestly, and completely. First, we must acknowledge what this young mind has seen is not false. In modern economic systems, individuals are often valued by market demand. Work becomes measurable in monetary terms. Consumption becomes both motivation and reward. This is what Karl Marx described as alienation, a disconnection between the individual and the meaning of their own work. And yes, people work to earn, they earn to consume, they consume hoping to feel fulfilled. But fulfillment keeps slipping away, so the cycle continues. But now let us go one step deeper with intellectual honesty. In any large scale economic system, compensation is influenced by demand and supply. Skills that are rare are valued more. Skills that are abundant are valued less. This is not always exploitation. It is also how complex societies coordinate effort at scale. But the problem begins when this mechanism starts defining human worth itself. When a person begins to feel, I am worth only what the market pays me, that is where distortion begins. The young professional makes an important observation that real wealth often comes from creating real value. And this is true. At scale, wealth cannot be generated only by illusion. It requires solving real problems, building useful products, organizing human effort effectively. So let us be clear, wealth creation in itself is not false, but it becomes dangerous when value is forgotten and only valuation remains. Now look at something subtle. The worker wants more consumption, the owner wants more expansion. Both are driven by the same force, more. And this more has no natural end. But here is the deeper insight. Capitalism does not create desire, it amplifies the desires already present in the human mind. So the system is not the only problem. The mind that enters the system carries its own restlessness. The real trap is this: I am my salary, I am my success, I am what I own. When identity collapses into economics, even success becomes a form of slavery. So now we must ask, is the problem outside or is it also within? So then, what is excellence in such a world? If it is not just wealth, not just skill, not just competition, then what is it? Let me offer you a complete definition. Excellence is the highest expression of your capability in creating real value while remaining inwardly free. And this has three dimensions. Competence, you must be good at what you do. Contribution, your work must create real value for others. Consciousness, you must not lose your inner freedom in the process. If any one of these is missing, excellence becomes incomplete. This is where the wisdom of the Bhagavad Gita becomes timeless. Krishna does not ask Arjuna to withdraw from action. He transforms the basis of action. He says, Yoga karmasu koshalam. Excellence is a skill in action, and also nishkam karma. Act without becoming psychologically dependent on outcomes. This means you can build, achieve, lead, create wealth, and yet remain inwardly unbound. But there is an even deeper meaning of excellence. Excellence is not only how you act, it is what you become while acting. As long as we are acting from the ego, from the need to prove, to possess, to become, we remain bound, no matter how successful we are. This is why Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita asks Arjuna to go beyond the tripartite nature and to act through Nishkam Karma. Action without inner dependence on results. This is not withdrawal, this is the highest form of participation, where you act fully but are not defined by your action, where you achieve but do not become your achievement, where you engage with the world but remain rooted in something deeper than it. So, true excellence is not just rising above others, it is rising above the self that constantly needs to rise. Let me leave you with one crucial insight. The problem is not that everything has a price. The problem is when we begin to believe that everything is only a price. Human value cannot be reduced to market value. You do not have to escape the world. You have to see it clearly, because the same system that can enslave you can also become a field of awakening. To stand in the marketplace fully engaged, creating, contributing, achieving, and yet remain inwardly free. That is excellence. Work deeply, think clearly, remain free. Thank you.